The moon might seem like just a glowing rock in the sky. Maybe you imagine it as a beacon for werewolves, or the backdrop for a romantic evening. But have you ever stopped to think about what would happen if it just vanished? I'm not talking about a little eclipse here. I'm talking about the moon, in its entirety, completely gone. What would happen to our planet, to life itself? Let's break down exactly what would happen. And spoiler alert, it's not pretty. Right away, the most obvious change would be in the sky itself. The moon, our faithful nightlight, would be gone. No more moonlit walks, no more werewolves howling at the moon. Not that we have proof of that anyway. Just darkness. And I'm not talking about your average cloudy night darkness. Places without city lights would be plunged into an inky black abyss, far darker than anything we're used to. Think about the last time you were camping, miles from any city, and how dark it was. Now multiply that by, well, infinity. But it's not just about the darkness. Think about all the animals that rely on the moon for navigation. Migratory birds use the moon and stars to chart their courses across continents, and suddenly, their GPS is on the fritz. And it's not just the birds. Think about nocturnal predators that use the moonlight to hunt, or prey animals trying to avoid becoming dinner. The entire balance of the ecosystem is thrown into disarray. Now let's dive into a slightly less obvious but equally profound consequence, the tides. You see, the moon's gravity is the main reason we have tides here on Earth. It's like a cosmic tug-of-war between the Earth and the moon, and the oceans are the rope. Take away the moon, and that tug-of-war is over. The tides wouldn't vanish completely, the sun still has a say in this, but they'd be drastically reduced. Maybe just a quarter of what they are now. This might seem like no big deal, but it would be catastrophic. Coastal ecosystems, delicately balanced over millennia, would be thrown into chaos. Entire species of marine life rely on the tides for survival, and their world would be turned upside down. And it's not just the creatures in the sea. Think about the human impact. Coastal communities that rely on fishing or tourism would face economic ruin. So, we've lost our nightlight, and our oceans are in chaos. But it gets worse. Way worse. You see, the moon does more than just light up our night sky and control the tides. It actually helps keep our planet stable. Earth spins on its axis like a top, and that axis is tilted at about 23.5 degrees. That tilt is what gives us our seasons. Thank the moon for summer vacation, everybody. But here's the thing, that tilt isn't set in stone. It's actually stabilized by, you guessed it, the moon's gravity. Without the moon acting as our cosmic counterweight, Earth's axis would start to wobble like a drunk astronaut. And when I say wobble, I mean wobble. Over thousands of years, that tilt could shift dramatically. We could go from a nice, comfortable 23.5 degrees to something far more extreme. Imagine a world where the poles receive direct sunlight for months on end while the equator freezes over. Talk about climate change. The seasons as we know them would be gone, replaced by chaotic and extreme temperature swings. Ice ages could grip the planet, only to be followed by scorching heat waves. Life on Earth would be forced to adapt to a constantly changing and often hostile environment. Chapter 4. Animal Instincts Gone Haywire. Speaking of adapting, let's go back to those animals we talked about earlier. Remember how the lack of moonlight would mess with their navigation? Well, it turns out the moon plays an even more fundamental role in the lives of many creatures. For countless species, the moon isn't just a source of light, it's an integral part of their biological clocks. Take sea turtles, for example. These ancient mariners used the moon's light to guide them to the shore to lay their eggs. Without it, they could become disoriented, laying their eggs in the wrong places, or worse, not laying them at all. And it's not just turtles. Many bird species migrate at night using the moon and stars to navigate. Insects too rely on the moon for everything from timing their mating rituals to finding their way back to their nests. Remove the moon from the equation and it's not just a few species that suffer, it's entire ecosystems thrown into disarray. The delicate web of life that has evolved over millions of years would be torn apart, with unpredictable and potentially catastrophic consequences. Chapter 5. Shorter days, longer nights. So far we've covered the immediate and dramatic consequences of a moonless Earth eternal night, chaotic tides, a wobbling axis, and confused critters. But the loss of our lunar companion would have even weirder, more subtle effects over time. One of the strangest? Earth's rotation would actually speed up. Hold on, you might be saying. Didn't you say the moon acts as a brake on Earth's spin? And you'd be right. The moon's gravitational pull creates a sort of friction against Earth's rotation, slowing it down ever so slightly. It's a tiny effect, but over billions of years, it's added up to make our days about 24 hours long. But here's the thing. Without the moon's braking effect, Earth would start to spin a little faster each year. Don't worry, we're not talking about suddenly turning into a human centrifuge. The change would be gradual, measured in milliseconds at first, but over millions of years, those milliseconds would add up. Days could become significantly shorter, perhaps just 6 to 12 hours long. Imagine trying to squeeze a full day's work into that time frame. Chapter 6. Space Rocks. And finally, let's talk about space. No, not the final frontier, but the stuff floating around in it. You see, the moon isn't just a pretty face, it's also our cosmic bodyguard. Out there in the vastness of space, there are countless asteroids and comets whizzing around, and some of them are on a collision course with Earth. Luckily for us, the moon's gravity acts like a shield, deflecting many of these potential threats away from our planet. It's like having a giant cosmic baseball mitt, scooping up those space rocks before they can do any damage. But without the moon, well, let's just say our planet would be a much bigger target. Now don't get me wrong, Earth's atmosphere does a pretty good job of burning up smaller meteors. But the big ones, the planet killers, those are a different story. Without the moon to play cosmic goalie, the odds of a catastrophic impact would increase dramatically. So, the next time you look up at the moon, take a moment to appreciate its silent guardianship. It might just be saving our cosmic bacon. Outrow. So what if the moon disappeared tomorrow? It wouldn't be the explosive Hollywood-style disaster you might imagine, but it wouldn't be pretty either. Life wouldn't end instantly. But everything would slowly start to spiral into chaos. The moon isn't just beautiful, it's essential. We've explored just a few of the ways a moonless Earth would be a very different and much more challenging place to live. It makes you appreciate that little gray rock in the sky, doesn't it? The universe is full of wonders and dangers, and understanding the delicate balance of our own planet is the first step to appreciating our place in the cosmos. So keep looking up, keep asking questions, and never take the moon for granted.